Emails. So many people I talk to get sick and tired of dozens of emails coming into their inbox and not knowing how to keep it organized. And really, I guess what I want to do is I want to talk a bit about how you can get your email organized and how you can stay on top of it, because I think for so many people it is a struggle. And we'll help you get that. Now, I just want to remind you that throughout today, as I go through this, we've also got a little freebie for you at the end. So stick around and I'll make sure you get a link to be able to download the workbook to be able to help you with. It's got 5 different tips in it to help you manage your emails. Now, my name is Ben Futrell, co-founder of Max My Profit, and we are all about helping you build the business that you imagine. Now, if you imagined that you were going to spend hours per day checking your emails, then don't watch this video. But if you imagined that your life was going to be a bit easier, business was going to be a bit more fun, then definitely watch till the end. And like I said, I've got a freebie for you, which is a workbook with the 5 tips in it to help you to be able to manage your emails. The first thing to understand is that, I always think about how often does somebody check their emails, because do you run out to the street of your letterbox and go and check your letterbox several times a day? I'm pointing that way because mine is that way. You probably don't, right? So don't check your emails all the time. And the reason you probably do is you probably got notifications turned on. So my first tip for you is to turn all your notifications off. And you're probably wondering, well, when am I going to check my emails? We'll talk about that shortly. But on the subject of notifications, they sort of rule people's lives. If your phone goes ding or something, even just a little red circle with a number in it on your inbox on your phone, for example, or on your computer, if you've got notifications popping up on your computer, these things are going to distract you. Now, there's been a lot of studies done around distractions. And what they say is that if you get distracted, it can take 15 minutes to get refocused. Now, this means that if you get distracted 4 times in an hour, it means you're never focused for that hour. And so if you're letting your email notifications pop up as you go, that's what's going to happen. So turn off email notifications. It's a bit of a challenge. You're going to feel like you're losing a little bit of control by doing it, but it's just something you have to do if you really want to get control of your emails. The problem with emails is they sit in a area of your time which is called the demand zone, and these are the things that are usually urgent and important. So you check them because it could be from a customer, could be from a potential customer, could be from a team member, could be a problem that needs to be fixed. And what you've done is you've trained yourself to be reactive to those things. Okay, so this is why you probably feel a bit burnt out at the end of the day, checking your emails and reacting to things. So turn email notifications off. Number 2 then is, if you're going to turn them off, have a bit of a plan then around when you are going to check them, because you still don't want to be checking them just whenever. What you want to do is you want to have times in the day when you check them. Now, even on my voicemail, if you ring my phone, I tell people that it's the slowest way to get me is leave a voicemail. So the quickest way to get to me is to send me a text message or an email. And the reason for that is because I have time set aside in my diary where I check those. I don't have a time set aside in my diary to check voicemails, but I do have default times of the day where I'll check my email. So if you send me an email, say overnight, it's going to get checked in the morning because I have a time slot every morning where I check my emails. I also have a time slot every afternoon, mid-afternoon, that I check them. But if you send me an email after that, I do not check it until the next morning. And the reason for that is because I know that if I get an email that needs immediate attention, and I get it at 4:55 p.m., I will read it and it will bug me all night. I won't be able to get my mind off it. So deliberately, I do not check them. So I sort of liken it to the letterbox out the front. I definitely wouldn't go out and check my letterbox more than once a day. In fact, quite often it doesn't get checked even daily. So, why would you check your email box on a recurring basis throughout the day? Just do it at a set time. And even if you have to turn on an autoresponder and say, thanks for your email, just to let you know, I only check my emails once a day. If your matter is urgent, call this number, or, do something else, take some other action. You could always do that as well. So just plan your day better when it comes to when you're actually going to go about doing that. Now, the third tip is to have different email addresses. Now, you might be wondering, okay, well, I have enough troubles with just one. But the reason why I'm suggesting have more than one is that you can train your customers to send certain types of emails to certain email addresses. And then you can also then offload those email addresses to other people as you build your team. So, for example, you might have sales at, info at, accounts at, help at, whatever it is, you can decide what they are, but then create email addresses for those people. So if someone sends you an email about an invoice, you can respond to them and say, can you please send that email to billing at? even though you might still be checking that email, you might only have one time a week where you check the billing at email address. And that means that you're not trying to do 10 different jobs every day by checking your one inbox that has a plethora of different things for you to sort out. So if your customers are trained to be able to, to send to a certain email address, and if you've got that maybe on your website, or you've got it on, for example, let's say, on your billing advice that you send out via email, send it out from billing at. Don't send it out from your email address. So just have multiple email addresses. It's very cheap to do these days. Most service providers, internet service providers, will give you, with your hosting account, usually 5 emails included anyway. So you may as well use them. And you can have them set up um, as what's called aliases. So what that means is it still comes into your main inbox, but they are sending it to like billing at or sales at. And this leads me to the fourth tip, which means you can set up rules inside your inbox as well. So you can have rules that say if it's got this in the subject line, or if it's to this email address, or if it's got this word in the email, you can have it go into a certain folder. So set up folders in your inbox for each of the different things. For if you've got people or clients that send you emails on a regular basis, set up folders for them, and then set up rules. Set up rules that say, if an email comes in from this person, or if the subject line has this word in it, or if the content has this in it, put it into this inbox. If it's sent to this alias email address, put it into this folder, so that you can have everything organized in your inbox. So you're not just putting everything into one, because if you get 30 or 40 unread emails in one inbox, that's overwhelming. But if you've got 5 in your general inbox, you got 5 in your billing, you might check those on a Friday. You got 5 on your help one, you might forward those to your assistant that does all the support requests, and you could automatically forward those, right? So all of these things you can set up in your inbox, and that's called creating rules. So if you're not sure how to create rules, you can simply Google that. But most email providers, or pretty much every email provider that I know has the ability for you to be able to create rules based on what was sent to you. And it can be, whether it's a word or a subject line or an email address. The other thing that's really handy to know is if you are writing an email to somebody and you know that it's probably going to, get a reaction where they're going to reply straight away, or you want to reply from them, you can actually delay when you send that in Microsoft. So there is a function where you can not send it straight away. And I tend not to send my emails outside of normal business hours, because I don't want to get responses. I don't want people to think that I'm on my inbox available outside of business hours. So you can actually, in Microsoft, you can write your email, and then you can, I can't remember exactly what it is you do. Let me just see if I can quickly read it in my inbox. I'm just having a look. You can send it later. Can't exactly remember how to do it, but you can work it out. I can't see exactly. Can't remember what it is, but you can just send it later. But you have to compose your email first, and then when you go to hit send, it allows you to delay when you send. In fact, that's what it says: delay the sending. And then you can delay the sending. You can pick a time when you want the email to go, and that's also going to stop people from responding to you when you're not there, or when you don't want to be there, right? So there's some tips for you. What we're going to do is we're going to give you access to the guide and the little workbook that you can use to help you stay on top of your emails. We're going to pop the link down below right now. It's a free guide. Just got to give us your details. If you don't want to stay on our email list, it's pretty simple. Unsubscribe, and we won't send you any more emails. But of course, even for things like subscribing to people's lead magnets, I actually have a separate email address that I do that with, because I know they're going to probably send me promotional information. They're going to send me the PDF or whatever it is I subscribe to. So I have a different email address for when I subscribe to things. So it doesn't clutter up my inbox. And I know that when I'm going in that particular inbox, all I'm looking at is the things that those people are sending me that are usually promotional. And I can decide whether or not I want to keep seeing those, or if I want to unsubscribe after I've got the guide. And I would suggest you do the same thing. So set up a separate email address, and it's very easy to do with something like Gmail. And then you can use that as your other email address for subscribing to things as well. Alrighty. Well, I hope you found that really helpful. I know for me, one of the big aha moments was really getting control of my time, and in particular, understanding how to get control of the things that were out of my control, which is when someone sends me an email asking me a question, demanding something. These things are out of my control when it happens, but I can control when I respond to them. And I can control whether I'm reactive or proactive. And so being in control means that you have more time, you're going to be more efficient, you're going to be more focused, you're going to be more effective. And in the end, that makes you more profitable. So Links down below. Make sure you download the guide because it's going to help you immensely. Thanks again. And until next time, have a profitable day. See ya.